The number, $300 million. Not the destination, the middle of the middle. Doing it on camera, every day, hiding nothing. Every prompt, every method, every failure, all public. This is the AI C-Suite project, the path to $300 million. Before we begin on this video series, I want to go a little bit into who I am, what drives me, then explain what we're doing and like how we're doing it. So who I am, I'm Dwight Cenac. I am a business person. I cut my teeth in home health care. I stepped into a family business there. It was struggling. I managed to somehow corner the market. I scaled the company to millions of dollars, and then I was pushed out. After that, I watched all the systems that I had created to generate that progress crumble before my eyes. And I didn't want that to happen to any business that I would have in the future. So I took those lessons that I learned, I applied them to my current business, which is board games, and it's been a wild ride. I then took those systems, those principles, I built them into systems, and then I published them in a book called Game Changer because I wanted to show other people how to do what I did and hopefully make a difference in the industry. From there, I built what I call the High Nooniverse. It's a full intellectual property ecosystem. It includes the board game, novels, we've got television scripts, we've got comic books, we've got all sorts of things coming out the pipe, mobile games, VR games. There's the 10-year pipeline for this. And that's when I realized that there was something bigger here that I was creating, something even beyond that. I then went and I took all the lessons I learned in sales because I had to be a salesperson for the healthcare company and for my board game company, and I wrote a book, and that book was called Check and Mate. And it's basically 50 plus closes thereabouts. They're like closes that people can use, independent publishers can use when they're communicating with retailers. But I didn't want to just publish a book that was closes. I wanted to publish the psychology behind the objections that those closes would apply to. Basically saying in this book, this is what your retailer is thinking. When they say this, what they're actually thinking is this, and that is powered by a very specific fear inside them. And it's your job to overcome that fear. And you don't get there by arguing with them. You don't get there by trying to bully your way into their store. You get there by understanding, by listening to them, understanding what's really driving them, and then identifying where you solve that problem. So the idea for the book is not that you become a master at memorizing scripts. It's you become a master at communicating with the people you're doing business with. This is not a video about that book, so I'm going to stop my sales pitch there. I also made a board game for a major IP brand. It's in negotiations right now. I'm very excited about that when I'm ready to talk about it. But basically what I'm saying is that I'm not starting this video series from nothing. This is not one of those things of like 0 to 1 million in 2 days. Like, I have decades of experience in business. I have decades of experience in building systems that work, systems that transform businesses that don't work into businesses that do. And I have decades of experience in building my own personal IP, my own personal intellectual property. So when I'm coming into this project, this experiment, so to speak, I'm not coming empty-handed. And that's a very important note because I don't want you watching this video, you out there watching this video, to think, oh, here's a guy with nothing, and he turned it into something huge. I can do that. Like, you need to, I'm not going to tell you what to do, how to do it in this video, but just understand that you can't go into this empty-handed, or at least I'm not going into this empty-handed. And that's part of the transparency relationship established in this intro video. So let's talk about OpenClaw because that's the basis for this. That's probably what led you to this video series. OpenClaw is, in the world of all these ChatGPTs and AI chatbots and whatever, OpenClaw is not that. It's not like a ChatGPT in a browser that you talk to. OpenClaw is an AI operating system on your own hardware. Like your own computer is running this AI software. It's coding, it's processing, it's checking itself, it's working all the time. It's always on. It's multi-channel, so you can communicate with it through various channels. A lot of people use these, so I'm not reinventing wheels here, but I use Telegram, and I use on my phone, and I use Discord on my phone and on my computer. There's real memory across all sessions, so every conversation that you're having in every single channel, it is technically a different AI chatbot, but they're all storing the memory from those conversations into a centralized location that they can all look at, process, and then come back to you with. So they are effectively one brain with just a constant running memory that constantly updates based on those conversations. So it's always learning and it's always remembering. The biggest part about this, the biggest revolutionary part about this is it absolutely does one thing that people say is overhyped. It's not. This thing works while you sleep. It works all the time. It works until you tell it not to. Okay, and it does require some prompting and setup for that, but I am proof positive. Like in the last, I've been at this for at this point, about 72 hours, between 48 and 72 hours, and every day I wake up and it has got updates and updates and updates and updates. And this is the thing, like where like if you were talking about like ChatGPT will work on your one thing. Like you'll say, hey, what's this? And it'll do it, but then it stops there and it waits for you to respond to it. This doesn't do that. This has something called heartbeats and other things. I'm not the programmer. I'm not a developer, so I'm going to explain these things in layman, but it's always working all the time. And that ultimately leads to something that cannot be denied, no matter how bad you don't want to like this software, which is one person can now do the work of 50 people or even more. And that is revolutionary. Shortly before I did this video, the head of NVIDIA went on a massive conference and straight up said that this is the biggest technological breakthrough since Linux, and it dwarfs that. So if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Basically, this is a huge freaking deal. So what is this show? Let's wrap this up. This is an intro, right? This video is not the show. This is just an intro. But basically, this show is a daily journal of what I did and what I'm doing and what worked and what didn't. It's a full transparency show. So I'm going to be going into the prompts I'm using. I'm going to be going into costs, investment that I've spent. A lot of people ask that, especially in comments of the hype videos on this thing. They're like, yeah, well, how much did you spend? Well, I'll tell you how much I spent as I spend it. I'm going to go through, the tools I'm using, and I'll go through the failures because I want this to be totally transparent. You should be able to follow along this series and build your own version of what I built, if that's what you decide to do. That's my goal. My goal is through this series, you can follow it and you do exactly what I do, and you get pretty much exactly what I have or close to it. That's not the purpose of this show, or this is not, hey, do what I did. This is really about seeing this thing in real life, in real time, from a person who's not a tech developer. I'm not a coder, and I'm not like some massive online hype guru. I'd be surprised if somebody actually watches this video. But if you can get value out of it, that's what I'm trying to get at. So what's coming up next? Well, depending on when you're watching this, there's going to be either one video in the channel, or there's going to be a bunch of them. But that's that. So I hope to have you on this journey with me. What do they say? Smash that bell for notifications or whatever. I'm butchering it. But that's it. That's the intro. That's what this is about. And I look forward to seeing you on this journey with me as we grow to whatever the heck it becomes. I'll see you there.